Hey guys, welcome to the video today. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about TikTok and just my experience with, starting to grow a community, but with the ultimate goal, I really wanted to be able to go live on TikTok. So, and hopefully this will be helpful to you guys. It was, it was a little bit of work, but I still thought that it wasn't anything too tough, my opinion. So, let me start with my TikTok channel. It's called Todd's Garage. Like years ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, something like that, maybe even more. I don't know. It was some years ago I created a TikTok channel. And I posted like 3 videos and I got a little bit of views and I got like 1 follower. And then I just stopped posting. I didn't really use TikTok. I stopped posting for like years. So I had like 1 follower. And then recently, I think about a month ago, I decided, you want to know what, I'd like to be able to go live on TikTok and like with the purpose of like streaming, the idea, of streaming different things, but arcade games was something that I did want to stream, like, my arcade gameplay. So I thought, okay, what's it going to take for me to be able to go live? And I found like a lot of conflicting information. I contacted their support, and one of the answers I got was like, I need to get to 300 followers. And there was a lot of different information out there, so I just didn't know. And that's why I'm making this video. I'm hoping that it's going to be helpful to those of you out there that are interested in, wanting to go live on TikTok, and just my experience with like roughly a month so far of starting to grow a community on my TikTok channel. Okay, so the first thing I did is, I heard about this like live studio application where you could apply to go live on TikTok. And I think it's designed for like, like PC gaming or laptop gaming. It's designed from that angle. And there was like an application. Well, the application was pretty easy. I just went to the official TikTok website, found the application, and they like essentially approved me immediately with 1 follower. However, that was just for TikTok Live Studio. So the only thing I could do would be like live streaming through the PC, which I wasn't really interested in. But I thought, okay, maybe if they, give me that, they might also give me access to the other live, like being able to stream live through my phone camera. They didn't. It just did not work like that. And I had heard people out there saying that it did, but like in my case, it just didn't. I'm curious to know if you guys tried that and what your outcome was, but for me, it just didn't work. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to start, getting followers, building a community, and just see how long it takes me to get to where I can go live. So I started making TikToks about the stuff arcade games and 80s and 90s stuff and some food review stuff, just like a lot of fun stuff. I'm just trying to grow a community that likes the things that I like, So I was posting, I have been posting 3, 4, 5 videos a day, quite a bit, and I just post them at different times throughout the day. And a few things. In the beginning, there were times when I would post videos and I would get 0 views. And I was like, what is going on? Like, this is like, what in the world? Like, it was a good video. I wasn't making anything that was like what I would consider junk. It was like good video. I thought it was good content for people. And I would post it and it would get 0 views. And I was like, what in the heck? So, I would delete it, and go through. There's like, when you delete it, it says like delete and re-edit, and then I would save it back to my drafts, and then later I'd try to post it again, 0 views again. And this was only on some videos, not all videos. Like a lot of the videos I post would get views, like in the hundreds or 200, etc. But there were some videos for some reason that just would get 0 views. I think it was because I was a newer creator, so I think that like TikTok was unsure of like my content and if it was good content, if it met their community guidelines, all that type of stuff. So sometimes there were just videos that did not go, and it was frustrating. I put my time and effort into making these videos and just 0 views, you know, and I was like, okay. But I moved on, I kept posting. Like I said, a lot of the videos would get views. There was a handful that would get 0. But I saved them in drafts, you know, I told you the process. I would delete and re-edit and then save in drafts. And I just keep posting videos. And slowly I was getting followers. You know, over the course of a month, you know, I was getting a few followers here and there. There were days or a few days in a row where I didn't get anything. And there were some days where I got, I don't know, I think 3, 4, something like that. You know, those, and I tell you, every time when I go into TikTok, every time I saw the little follower icon, I was so excited, man. I was so happy to get a follower on TikTok because I was trying to, you know, build this community. So, anyways, so I was building this community over the course of about a month, and I got to 50 followers. And I didn't really think anything of it because I thought I was going to need a lot more followers than that to be able to go live. But at 50 followers, I think it was later that day. So if I remember right, it was either the day before or the day of. I hit 50 followers. And then, you know, like I said, it was either like the day before or the day of. But then later that day, I got a message from TikTok saying I could go live now. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. I was super excited. So I actually went live the next day. I didn't have the time, you know, like I had other things going on. I didn't have the time to do it that day, but I went live the next day. So at 50 followers. Now, when you first go live, there is like a process. You know, there were like, and this stuff may change in the future, but there was like, you know, it wanted me, before I get the full live experience, I need to stream for 30 minutes, which I did over that on my first stream. And then I need to have 3 different streams on 3 different days. And I'm 2/3 into that right now. I've done streams on 2 different days. I'm hoping later today to do the 3rd stream to unlock the full live. And then once I unlock the full live, you know, that I get like more benefits. I think it said things like more viewers. I have different tools, that type of stuff. Maybe I'll make a future video talking about that, but it seems like once I unlock the full live, I'll have like all the tools in the TikTok live, you know, I think it said more viewers too. I think it said it's something like it was limiting my viewers until I make it through that process, something like that. Okay, so I want to talk about a few things that I think are going to be important, you know, for you to hear too. So I've only been doing this a month, you know, on TikTok, and I have like 55 followers. I think I had 56 yesterday. I lost one. And I will tell you that happened, I think, a few times throughout my journey so far. It's going to happen. Don't let it get you down. Just keep moving forward. My views in the beginning were like in the low 100, 200, 300, that type of thing. And I can tell you as time has gone on and I've been consistent in kind of figuring out what works and what doesn't work, that's slowly growing. I'm seeing a lot of my TikToks now go over 1,000. You know, I've had a few like in the 3, 4, 5,000. I think I even have one in the 6,000, you know, in the high hundreds, you know, 500, 600. All of that's great, you know, but don't let it, like, if you're getting low views in the beginning, don't let it get you down, because at least for me, it was about consistency, and I kind of learned as I went what was working, what wasn't working. I only know from my side, which has been consistency and, you know, just putting out good content, kind of doing different tests, what works, what doesn't work, and just kind of, you know, changing as I go. You know, I'm not trying to get stuck into any particular mindset. I'm just trying to learn and grow. And I hope that information will be helpful to you too. Now with the TikTok live, when I went live the first time, you know, the viewers, they start coming in like, well, it took about a minute or two, something like that. Maybe a little bit. Maybe it was even 3 minutes or more. I don't know. But there was a little bit of time at the beginning of the live where nobody was coming into the live. And then all of a sudden they started coming in like pretty fast. You know, they're like coming in pretty fast, but they're also leaving pretty fast because I can see my viewer count, so they're coming in and they're leaving. It's all okay though, you just be yourself and do what works for you. I'm not letting it get me down, I've done 4 live streams this far, 2 on one day and 2 on another day. And like I said earlier, you have to have 3 different lives on 3 different days to unlock that full experience. And that may change in the future. But talking about the 4 lives I've done, I think each live I've gotten more and more viewers. The first one was like 100 and something. The second one was like 100 and something, but a little higher. The third one was like 100 and something, but a little higher. And then the fourth one I think was a little over 200. And it's super fun. The goal for me is to try to be consistent, and just continue to put out consistent content with things that I'm hoping I can find in common with other people, that's the community I'm trying to build. But I'm also being open to learn and grow as I go. Like if I'm doing something and it's not working and people aren't finding any value or entertainment in it, I really have to take a look at that and think, even because I think it's important, does it mean, that I should keep doing it? I'm really trying to be open to those things as I go. But, don't let it get you down if you see like a bunch of viewers flood in and flood out. It's kind of interesting. I try to, explain things as I go and hopefully, attracting the right people to the community that are going to enjoy that type of content. And, you might want to consider those things as well. Out of the 4 streams, the 4 lives that I've done, I've gained 1 follower, and that's great. 1 follower out of the 4 streams, and don't let it get you down if you don't get any. Just, keep being consistent, being open to what, what's working and what's not working, and just, go from there. That's my advice to you. And all of this stuff may change in the future. This is just what's worked for me and what's happening for me right now. TikTok may change its requirements in the future. The requirements may be different in different areas. I don't know. I'm just telling you like I said, what's worked for me and what's happened for me this far. But I wish you guys well on your TikTok journey. I'm curious to know how it's went for you. Leave a comment on this video, or, if you want to find my TikTok channel, it's called Todd's Garage. Leave a comment, in either one of those places, and I'll do my best to respond to you. I'll check the comments and do my best to respond. So I wish you guys well on your TikTok journey. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.